Welcome to the annual Sorry Not Sorry Awards.
Welcome to the annual Sorry Not Sorry Award Show.
And the nominees are, and the award, and yard goes to. We are your host, judges, and jury. Sorry, not sorry. 6, 7, baby.
Welcome to Warehouse 15, Uncut, and it is the Sorry Not Sorry annual 2025 awards, and I am joined by my co-host, my brothers in arms, my comrades in battle. We're leaving for Venezuela soon. Coach Juan Moreno and TJ, who's going to be leading up our operations on ground trying to get our oil back. Welcome, gentlemen. Or should I say, hola. And can we get some empanadas and some
Arepas.
fritas? Yeah, arepas. That's Venezuelan.
Hey, did you?
I love Venezuela.
Grandmaster, did you check your mail today?
No, what's in it?
I don't know, but I got something in my mail. Did you
Oh, no, man.
My mail came today.
I got nothing. All I got, I went out by myself and I bought what I need for coquito because it's a Spanish tradition to have our Puerto Rican eggnog, and I'm making it for some of my better friends, which if you don't see it in your mailbox, you'll know why.
I just got rid of all my.
I didn't do nothing. I just accepted it.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
You see that? I know.
First of all,
price of entry.
First of all, I've never seen you wear a hat in your life, so don't ask me for a hat.
You know why I have beautiful? You know why I have beautiful hair? Because I never wore a hat. Well, you're lucky. You got good hair, man. You got good hair. TJ, let me see your head.
I would take. I need a haircut right now too, so we can't be out here just not.
All right, you got to keep your dome covered. All right. Well, it's been a long year. We've had a great year. We had a lot of great stuff that goes on.
Before we start,
Go ahead.
I always like to have a beer, but today I'm gonna have to break out the JMM and
that's a
edge
nice
glasses.
glass.
I'm gonna have to
That's
do a
nice
little
glass.
late night whiskey, little drink,
That looks like some Scotch, Highland Scotch.
I'm gonna do it, like neat today. No ice, nothing. Just kind of sip with you guys.
Oh,
and,
nice.
I'm gonna
have to get my son Nico.
salute.
Can you get me a
Salute.
beer from the back, a sour, please?
Let me see Nico. Tell Nico to come here.
And Nico, come over here. Uncle Juan wants to see you, and Uncle TJ. Come on now. Oh, he said, give me a second. That's his new thing. He's always testing the limits, right? He tests the limits now. He used to say, yes, Baba. Now he goes, give me a second. Now he goes, what?
He's a college man. He don't got to listen.
Oh, he don't need me. He's going to Cornell. He don't need me anymore. I got my Cornell shirt, but we'll see. He's getting taller, smarter, hopefully, and all that. Yeah. But it's been a great year. I know I'm going to Portugal at the end of the month, so I'm looking forward to. Have you guys been to Portugal?
I have. Where are you going?
I have not.
I'm going for soccer, so I'm not really sure, but we're going to like their best clubs. And one of our coaches actually was there with his team when he was in preseason, when Ronaldo was just a kid. So he told me that story, which I thought was fascinating. He goes, yeah, we're looking at this kid, man. We're going, damn, this kid is good. He's like 19, and who was it? Ronaldo. Yeah, unbelievable. So just good stuff. Nico, though, had a banner week. They have this thing called the beep test. It's where all the players have to get a certain, you know what it is? So Nico crushes it, and everybody else on their hands and knees, and Nico's just standing there walking, and the last kid is trying to go with him, the captain of the team. Nico stays up, and then when the kid gives up, Nico does another 5 rounds.
Wow.
So, yeah, he killed the beep test. Come over here. They want to see you. I need a glass. Come over here. Everybody wants to see you. Say hello to everybody.
Hello. What's up, big guy?
Buddy? How are you?
Get in the mic. Get in the mic.
All
right. You want to show him the six-pack?
No.
Show him the six-pack.
Check 1, 2.
Show him the six-pack. Come over here. Oh, damn. Show it again. Uncle Juan missed it.
I can see. I want to show you.
He got to do. We're working on his haircut now because he doesn't like his haircut. So we're going to try to get him a haircut he likes.
Wow.
He looked at your haircut from '88.
Nah.
I told him a story about what happened.
Well, did we talk since New Year? No, we talked before. What do we do?
I don't think so. No, we were supposed to, but I think you guys were all busy.
Well, happy,
Thank you.
happy,
Thank you,
ha-
brother.
Yeah, I think we talked right after Christmas. Happy New Year, guys. I
Happy New Year.
hope we have you have a healthy and happy 2026.
Well,
Don't let
let's
anything-
hope. I was in Disneyland. I mean, I'm going to come to Disney World because Nico wants to go to Disney World again before he goes to college. But we went to Disneyland on New Year's Eve, believe it or not. So
Yeah,
I
you're
got
cutting
to
in and
see
out.
America in its glory.
You hear that?
It's like
Oh,
that.
it's
Yeah, I
still
hear
recording, but
Yeah, he didn't
it's
pay his
just-
internet.
it's still recording. It's just.
it.
Look at this guy, Frozen.
Dude, I got
He
the
looks like that guy
fastest
from,
internet in the world, except it's the slowest
what's
today.
what's that show? Oh my
I think
god,
there's a
you're
lot of
talking
people
about, like,
watching
the-
Unmentionables at home.
like Frozo and stuff like that.
All right, well, we got a long show tonight. It's been a
Yeah.
auspicious year. We are getting ready for our wrap up, but more importantly, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. But let's start with my master of ceremonies. I think it's going to be who? TJ or Coach? Who's it going to be?
The great Bambino, the king of SWAT.
nice. Oh, the king of SWAT. Nice. Well, I'm assuming that's you.
No, I'll start it. I'm
Yeah,
king of SWAT. I've been
He's
swatting
the king
people
of
up. I've been
King of
smacking
SWAT.
fools up. I'm actually watching the national championship. Oh no, the college semifinal right now. Miami's playing Ole Miss and just started the fourth quarter.
Ooh, I
At
forgot about that.
17-16. Miami's winning, man. Miami's had a chance to kind of blow them out a little bit, but just, man, this team is resilient, this Ole Miss team, but it's a good game. Anyway, I know we're going to get later on to the to some of these awards. I think it's going to be a little fun conversation. But I also want to talk about. I got to get into the last 10 minutes of last week. I had a lot of people asking me about it, and I know we touched on it. It wasn't the time to get into it, but just as a refresher, we talked a little bit about some things that are going on with both the organizations and more specifically with TJ and some people that are close to me. So, I want to kind of rehash that a little bit and talk through it just because I think it's important. Because once again, I think there's some interference and some things going on. They're just not. Oh, there you go. Not proper. So TJ, I'm gonna kind of bring it over to you. I want to talk about the situation. The situation was just as a real quick refresher. You were invited actually by the AAU to become a regional director to kind of lead your state into some cool things, and it was them asking you, not you asking them. They came to you based on you being with Tops, based on you being with the national team, based on what they saw, all that good stuff. We know about that. And when push came to shove, there was some kind of private meeting and some MOU signed, and basically the USAT basically kind of nixed you specifically, and they gave you an ultimatum, which I think is kind of a freedom of speech type of thing, and I feel like it's two organizations almost colluding to keep you off. Both sides. We know the dislike for the USAT and the keeping you on the sidelines for whatever reason, when you have incredible value. But more importantly, here you are minding your own business, doing great things with another organization, and the parent organization, USAT, gives them an ultimatum. TJ can either do the podcast or not. So, do you want to talk about it a little bit, and then we can kind of maybe.
Yeah, it was that whole thing came down to do the podcast or not. I think, and again, we talk about. I think last time we kind of touched on it being like about the regionals and the district and all that stuff like that. And those are big positions, right? Those are things that are a little bit all involving and blah blah blah, whatever. But as the conversation progressed, it pushed over to doing the podcast would not allow me to be on national teams. Like I couldn't go coach a national team. I couldn't be a part of any kind of training camps or anything like that. It kind of extended over to a world of we're not talking about leadership. We're not talking about trying to be internal with the organization. We're talking about things that have been given to other coaches. And, have 3 athletes on a team, they talk to you about coaching. Have value for the organization, they talk to you about coaching. Something that's been very non-connected to anything now is connected to, not only this podcast, but just this podcast and being on this podcast. And like I said, I think one of them asked me about I don't know if you have any monetary value for this podcast, and that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. I don't know why would even be a question, but just to
I don't think $500,000 a year should get in the way of any coaching position. So if they want you to forfeit the $500,000 that you make on this podcast, then I think that's unfair.
But it's funny that again they look at that. It's almost like a dollar amount. Like, hey, take this potential dollar amount with this for this regional position versus your freedom of speech, your friends, something that you've been doing for a year that AAU had zero problem with. This is my two questions. My two questions are this, TJ, and maybe I wasn't on the conversation, but number one, let's go back to that. You said something like, okay, so let's say you're not going to be in leadership. So are you telling me that anybody that speaks out against the USAT or says something in the negative, intonations about referees, about how well or I'm sorry, how bad a tournament was run or whatever they want, and all of a sudden they put 5 people on the AAU national team or AAU team, that those people can't be part of the staff? Are they gonna announce this to everybody in all of AAU? How would I know? I'm John Smith from Iowa, and all of a sudden, bam! I put a bunch of people on the team, and they, I
don't think they. The thing is, they don't care what John Smith says. They care what we say. They care what I say. They care what people that actually have real value and real understanding of what's going on. They don't want those people to talk. They'll let everybody else do and say whatever they want because it's irrelevant. It doesn't move anything. It doesn't spark any real conversation. But this podcast sparks real conversation. We said it again, and we say things, and that's a problem for them. It shouldn't be a problem for AAU. Like I said, this is we've been doing this podcast since over a year now. We've been doing this podcast through being selected for different teams and situations, and it's been the norm. And now for me, it's an issue. Now it's
so here's my problem. Here's my problem with leadership. And there's two leaders right now. There's Clinton O and Alex Covert, right? One is the chair. Alex Covert is the chair, and Clinton is the director of martial arts. And as far as I know, Alex is responsible for running events, doing these type of things, and of course having some coordination with some other things. But Clinton is the one that is involved with this whole new negotiation with the USAT. I said last time, I do think that Taekwondo is Taekwondo. We should row the boat together. We don't have to be in the same boats, but we should go along the same lines. We should see how we can work together. But when one organization is determining what the other organization could do, that's when I have a problem. And I have to blame Clinton. Why? I have nothing against Clinton. I don't even know him that well as a person. He doesn't know AAU, number one. But number two, he allowed the USAT to decide, you know what? We won't use TJ because you guys don't. He won't accept your terms. He allowed them to do that. He should have said, wait a minute. We like TJ. We just used him on the national team. And he was doing the podcast before. We didn't have a problem with it. We think he's great. Matter of fact, we selected him for this position. He didn't go to bat for you. He basically came to you and said, TJ, take it or leave it. Whatever they say, you got to do or don't do. That's messed up. That's no backbone. That's not a leader. That's not someone that's looking out for AAU. That's someone that's looking out for himself. He must want something to do with them because he used you as a pawn. Again, excuse my language, that's fucked up. Because that's not what AAU was before him or long before him. And I don't want to talk about the last administration.
You guys are trying. You're expecting a boy to act like a man. You're expecting Clinton, who, by the way, never heard of him. And I have a general rule when it comes to Taekwondo. If you don't know who I am, you haven't heard of me, you don't know Taekwondo. If I don't know who you are, you're definitely nobody. So Clinton, who? But you're asking a boy to act like a man. So don't expect a boy to act like a man. We can't expect that from the USAT. And, arguably there are some people that are actually that can be said to be known and definitely know who we are. But how do you expect a boy to act like a man? He's in a room full of wolves and he's a baby. He's a sheep. So you can't blame him for being weak. He's weak by nature.
Well, it's just a shame because again, I'm not boy, man. I don't really care about that. I mean, he's a successful businessman. He has a very successful program chain of martial arts schools. But again, that doesn't matter. What matters is organizational, institutional knowledge. He has no idea what AAU does, but his first main action, trying to work with the USAT, is to get rid of a successful, helpful, useful person. That's not in the best interest of the organization. That is not in the best interest of the organization. And if this is how we're starting, then I got a problem with that. I got a problem with him.
Well, it's the time.
Yeah, but you just said it. You said it. It's not about the organization. It's got to be about them and whatever they got.
It's the Tanya Harding effect, guys. You're forgetting Tanya Harding. So if you can't win, you can't be good, you can't succeed, then you cut people out around you that can. So, you guys are looking at it just, he's looking for an excuse. He's looking for an excuse.
They hide behind all this righteous bullshit and this is the positivity is this and learn from this and build from this and all this shit. And like the reality is they sit back and they cut people short and they do the things that are, like I said, in their best interest.
Well,
that's when we start talking about bosses and stuff like that.
Well, people don't,
or boy, I think it's a terrible boss decision. I think
it's a boy, but let me people don't know that we actually have a board and we have a chairman of our board. And I was able to find a clip of the chairman of our board and he's going to make a comment.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Anyway, so just wanted to share that.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
So, that's the chairman of our board, and that's some advice I'd like to give to Clinton who? But go ahead.
Like I said, it's just, again, it's an unfortunate situation personally for you, TJ. But again, I want to know that standard is going to be held to everybody. And if that's the standard held to every single person, if they, and what determines that? I mean, what determines if it's negative or positive, if it's good or bad, or if it's right or wrong? This is once again,
they're just gonna go silent. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say nothing. Now it's gonna be worse. We're at a point where you can't speak out and say when something's wrong. We're at a point where I can't go, that's not right. This isn't right. Again, when I start lying, people start calling my phone. I don't get no calls. I don't get no text messages where people say, hey man, why you say that? You know why they don't say that? Because half of the shit we say, they think, and they know it's true.
That's right.
Like, we don't come on here and make anything up. We come on here and speak what the things the situations we've been in, the people that we've been around, and the things that we've experienced. And that's just a fact. I went from being a part of AAU in a decent level, as far as from the Olympic Taekwondo side, to moving on to I'm in meetings with these guys talking about looking at Olympic sparring rules and looking at regulations for AAU and helping them decide is this better than this? And now we're here. So we went through all those stages, and now it's that or the podcast. So I had such value until we sit down and try to shake hands and whatever the goal is at the back of the end of the day. But how does that change? That's my question I have to ask. How does that change? How does it matter what I say about USAT? Why does that affect AAU?
And you know what the crazy thing is that AAU does not need USAT for anything. They're a successful organization. They have a lot of people. Well, we're going to see, because I think some of these changes and some of these things that the mastermind is doing, is trying to implement, is a little far off, and it's going to be, it could be a difficult road for some of those guys, and like I said, it's just I feel really bad that the AU has gone this way. And again, I know the guy, the director has to be held responsible. Clinton has to be held responsible. He has to answer for this, and he can hide, he can say no. And when I see him, I'm going to talk to him. And when I see him, I'm going to suggest that he does listen to the podcast so he can get educated, since he thinks that he's holier than everybody else. And he, doesn't listen to podcasts like this because he only does things that uplift him and make him more intelligent for his entrepreneurial business. You know what? You could suck my, because that's a
crazy thing.
You got 3 Olympic level athletes here that have were doing Taekwondo before you were born, probably have been around this world way more than you. You don't know anybody. You don't know anybody in USAT. You don't know anybody in AAU. You don't know anybody in the world. You know 3 people, and then you're gonna say something like that. That's disrespectful. That's low key disrespectful and hugely arrogant of him. So I said
soft boy hater shit. Soft boy hater shit. Like who talks like that? Like who says things like that?
No need to.
Who says things like that? Well, why would you say that? No, and let's not pretend like we're pretending that he don't listen. We're pretending that he's not waiting to go watch or someone's not sending him messages. There's no way he don't turn on. It's impossible to think. But just to even say it like that and play that game, oh, you're just so much bigger and better. That's what I said. They all hide behind this almighty holy stuff and do this and do that. And they all just sit back in the room and figure out how they can make their pockets fatter. And that's it. Whatever that looks like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we have we had our board chair, and I was able to find, he was very busy, but our president has something he'd like to say. So I got to share it with you guys.
Well, what the hell is supposed to do, you moron? Well, what the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
So anyway, some of my favorite quotes come from the wisdom of great movies. So
you try to be respectful with these people in the beginning. You know, you try, and I try to be very respectful. I try to understand the worlds they come around. I understand everybody's different, and you expect someone coming onto a new leadership position to kind of again fill out the room, understand what's going on, be what you're supposed to be, do your job. But instead, we end up doing stupid shit. So
the best advice before we move on, the best advice I ever got was from a former boss of mine, vice president of Macho Martial Arts back in the day, Nancy Grossbart, and Coach Moreno and I did a bunch of camps and seminars and built pretty good athletes out of it. And we had one guy that used to come, I won't mention his name, it was one of our seniors, and he would always act up and get in trouble. And then we'd complain about him. And then she took me aside and she said, you invited him. You know how he is. You know what he's like. So if you invite, for example, a thief in your house and he steals plates, what'd you expect? You invited him in. So don't complain about the person. You're expecting them to be like you. They're going to be like them. So don't complain when they're like them. So in this situation, Clinton whatever his name is, you got to remember, it's an Olympic year. Everybody wants to get on the Olympic teat. They think they're all going to gain some benefit from it. So unfortunately, USA Taekwondo's got its thing, and they all think it's going to be something, and that's why they're doing this. So they all want to get their little 10 seconds of whatever, whether it's a ticket, a thing, be a guy getting a table, a VIP, right? And it is what it is. And it's worse because it's in the States. So don't expect this person who has no history in our sport or competitive record or whatever.
And neither organization, Young.
So why expect the guys who grovel?
He wasn't elected. He wasn't elected. He was appointed.
But why expect the grovelers and the guys who haven't done anything to be ethical or moral? They didn't sweat for it. Unless you sweated for it, you bled for it. We got a great song that's going to play at the beginning of this, and it's something that somebody created for us, and it talks about what you have to do in order to understand what we do. And it goes back to my other rule. You don't get to talk. In other words, you can opine, you get an opinion, but your opinion better be based in fact. It's like I watched this clown talk about Olympic Taekwondo who's never done Olympic Taekwondo, never been to the Olympic Games. I don't even think he bought a ticket to watch it. Yet he's going around talking to everybody with a New York accent and a Korean face about what it is to be an Olympian or what it is to fight like an Olympian. You didn't fight like an Olympian. Shut up and sit down. Don't talk unless you've been to the dance. You haven't been to the dance, you don't get to teach. You get to teach. Don't let the word Olympic come out of your mouth. So that's the same thing with this clown. Who is he? I don't know. So everybody's successful at business. I got 20 guys more successful than this guy. And they're not in Taekwondo, right? So anyway.
Last thing I'll say, TJ, because you're right, give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I was in the room when he was appointed. I was shocked as anybody else. But, okay, you know what? I don't know the guy, so I can't say he's good or bad or whatever. But then now when I see these actions, I wanted to think the best of him. I wanted to be like, all right, he's a young kid. He's a young man. He's not an old guy. He doesn't have he doesn't have any institutional knowledge of an organization, either USAT or AAU. And he's put in this position. I thought, okay, let's see, how he acts. And now his first course of action is to make some kind of major decision like this when he doesn't have to, because it's AU's going fine and you're an asset, and when
A
and I
huge,
know,
a huge asset, according to them. A huge asset. It would be terrible. It would be terrible if AAU didn't work. This is coming from them. Terrible if they didn't work me. Terrible if I wasn't a part of the team. Terrible if I couldn't help the organization. But don't be a part of the podcast. Don't say the things you really think. Don't point out. Don't talk about the sport you've done since you're 11 years old. You don't get to tell me what to talk about.
Yeah.
Like you just said, I got more Taekwondo knowledge in my pinky than both of them put together. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You don't get to speak. But they do, and they do things that don't make any sense.
I think, we'll see what happens. Again, I'm sure we can beat them. We'll see them, and I'll see, and we'll see what they explain.
You never do. You never do.
Yeah.
You never do.
Did this guy? I mean, I'll just take a quick look here. Did this guy win the eating Olympics?
One new thing a day. So what that means is, in an annual base, I get to learn at least 3.
That's him?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy looked like he won the eating Olympics. It's another one of these guys going off his ethnicity, trying to become somebody in a sport. Do something, and by the way, live what you preach. Get out there, get out of the gym, young man, and lose a little weight. And when you go to these kind of things, put on a damn tie. But that's just me speaking. I know not you guys. I'm just hypersensitive to these clowns that all become, gurus of the self-help thing. But anyway, moving on to something more positive. Clinton, whatever your name is, I wish you the best and continued success at sucking the Olympic teat of Taekwondo, and certainly Jay and Steve and I'm sure you've had brown and green and orange at your school as well. But I wish you the best, and may you live long and prosper, as they say in the Star Trek land. All right. With that said, TJ, you have my heart. I know you love our sport. You do your best to bring the best to it. And it's unfortunate when people, I'm a little bit older now. I got older last month. And what I realized in talking to Dr. Cape when I was in Korea, you can offer your help to people. And it goes back to that old axiom of, drag a horse to water, can't make them drink. You can't help these fools. They don't win. They're not winning. Their current teams aren't performing. Their men aren't performing. Their women don't. And outliers perform once in a while, and they call that success. At some point, the U.S. Olympic Committee is going to wake up to the fact that it spends X amount of dollars on this particular sport that has the potential of 4 Olympic gold medals and doesn't win any. And at some point, they're going to stop funding them to that tune. You look at somebody like basketball, who causes them no trouble and comes home with an Olympic gold medal. And you look at track and field and swimming, which comes home with the majority of the medals because they can. Our sport was given some leeway because it can come home with a potential of 4 medals. Back in the day, 8 or 16 medals, right? Now it's only 4. With that said, there's going to come a point where they told them they had a plan. It's called the high performance plan, and it ain't working. They told them they were going to partner with other people like the AAU, and that ain't working either. AAU doesn't produce anybody, nor does USA Taekwondo. So at some point, the clown show and the clown car is going to empty. And when it does empty and the USOC wakes up from its stupor, because they're in a stupor, then things are going to change. And I had a long conversation, I can't remember who, it might have been one of you guys, but it was about why we're in this situation. And what I just said is why we're in this situation. The medals, the money, and they're not matching. In addition to that, without the volunteer leadership at the USOC, which used to happen, nobody's watching the farm. And Jay's perfectly positioned for this because he's been on both sides of the fence. He was a non-performer as executive director of USA Taekwondo. He's now a non-performer as COO, or the guy that pulls the strings on Steve McNally, the puppet. And he used to be the same role till he got fired from the USOC and fired from USA Taekwondo. So now he's back in charge of, he knows how to co-opt the weaker people. That's his thing. He read the 48 Laws of Power, which he gave me a copy of, which sits on my shelf, holds up my computer, which is falling down. And so you can't expect much from these guys. But at the end of the day, if they can't see your value, then do what Coach Moreno has done. Take your value somewhere else. Find your value somewhere else. Anyway, enough of that.
No, I think I've been very fortunate to be around, you guys and kind of just, again.
Not us. We just got you we got you no job.
No job. Right? Yeah. No job. No volunteer job. It's a volunteer job. I'm volunteering my time to go there and work. Isn't that crazy? They returned my ticket price, which takes a while, but I get my ticket back, and we're talking about this is what we're arguing over. Like, this is what we're arguing over. You're arguing with me volunteering my time to help an organization build and grow and be around the kids as they develop and work closely with them and have them a role model next to them that can actually give them something is what we're arguing about.
I talk to my friends for free. Everybody else I charge, and that's it. I'll give you one last story as we move on. So I have a rule in my school, as you guys know. I meet every member. I make a determination whether I want them as a member because I'm too old. So if I don't like you, I don't like your family, I don't like what your values are, I don't take you as a student. And I tell you from the beginning, I'm interviewing you. At the end of that interview, I'll offer you a membership. If I can't, I'll suggest somewhere else that might be a better fit for you. And if I can't do that, I'll just tell you you're in the wrong place. So we had a member about 9 months. Then she said something really strange to me like a couple of days ago. And I looked at her, and then I went back to my mantra. So I waited for the class to end. I brought her into my office. I said, you have 3 months left on your membership. I just want to let you know today is your last day. And I'd rather than drag it out for 3 months and tell you at the end of that, I'd rather you know now. So this is your last day of classes. And of course she was upset, called her husband. Husband came in, and I simply said to him, I said, it's not good fit for us. It's obvious that your wife has some issues. She's not happy. And this is my place, and I want to be happy. I like my clients. I want my clients to like me, and I don't want dissension in my lobby. So you're in the wrong place. But and that's the way it is. And so I'm so much happier. I let that individual go. Cost me a couple of $100 a month. Who cares? But now I'm happy. I don't have to see that individual. They're no longer in my world. It's the Bronx Tale when the guy owes him the money, right? Says, you got off easy, $20. That's it. $20, you don't have to see it. Out of your life. So there are many people in my life that I got off easy. They're not in my life anymore. They owe me money. They're out. They whatever. They're out. They're out. Your circle of friends gets lesser as you get older. But to this day, the people I care about, like you guys, Coach Moreno, Coach TJ, Steve Kapner, Dr. Harvey Schiller, Mary McCagg, the list is short. I got 4 or 5 or 6 people in my life that lifelong friends for reasons. The other ones, they're acquaintances. And when they stop behaving well, they're no longer acquaintances. Clients, though, and you should look at the AAU, quite frankly, as a client. You don't owe them anything. You're bringing value to them.
It's supposed to be about development and building, and like, we're not talking about making a real national team. Let's not pretend we're going to the World Championships. Let's not pretend we're preparing for an Olympic event in that situation at that time. Like, this is a developmental volunteer organization.
You know what?
Kevin Costner, they'll find you. It's Field of Dreams. They'll find you. Build it, they'll come.
TJ, that's a great point because, listen, it's not real. I mean, it's not a national team. It's the fighting is real. The team trials is real. Winning that event is real, but it's not it's a team from AAU. So
it's a travel team. It's a funded travel team.
It's a travel team. But anyway, listen. Again, I don't want to. I really like AAU. I mean, it's a great place for all those things that you said. TJ, it's a good development. It has great camaraderie. It has great programming. It's a lot of good things. But I just this new switch and all these different things as level 2 coaches. To be a level 2 coach, I think you have to have a GAL, and that gives you the right to protest. But if you have a GAL, that means you have to be a member of the USAT, which means you have to jump through all their hoops. Again, you're controlling.
That's probably why they did it.
But it's funny because they'll say, well, you don't have to have the level 2. You can just have a level 1 coach. Yeah. But I can't protest. I can't ask a question. It's a weird. It's just this new administration, this influx of control that the USAT has over them is really sad because now AU is no longer autonomous. It's no longer autonomous, and unfortunately, who's going to find that out are the athletes and the coaches.
But I think they brought this up at one point. I heard it and kind of went across the table a couple of times. But we're talking about, so you get a new coach that comes into the organization. They coach. They've been doing their thing, and now they want to be a coach for AAU. They come in, obviously, first tournament, they're at level 1. You're going to tell me you're not going to let those people protest because they're level 1s at one of their first couple of events until they get their level 2? Because I'm assuming you have to get level 1 before level 2, right? It's like a kind of like a
yeah.
1, level 2.
I don't know their
Like,
system. I mean,
but isn't that weird though?
Yeah, I
Like-
won't get a level 2. I don't care to protest. Imagine AU.
There's no shot.
Anyway, let's let that go. I'm sure we're gonna, have some more go arounds because somebody will, give us some more information or someone will say some other things and blah blah blah. It is what it is. Hey, without further ado, let's get into these 2025 awards. It's the Sorry Not Sorry awards. I gotta say, guys, we had a list of this so long and it was difficult to kind of narrow down, but we try to keep it short. So I'll start off with the lock, stock, and barrel.
Hold on a second. We need to. I got to, because there's going to be an insert here of welcome to the awards. So just we're going to take a moment here. This is the official awards show. Go, Moreno.
Listen, just because you haters out there, I just renamed the first one. The first one is the Peak Performance and Positive Athlete Award.
Love it.
Peak
Love it.
Performance and Positive Athlete Award. I hope you guys like it. So this obviously goes to the best athletes of the year. And me and, TJ, I think there's a couple of them. So unfortunately, we're not going to narrow it to one. I think we can go 2 men and 2 women. What do you think? What do you think, TJ?
That
You
works.
give me one. You give me one. Give me one. Male or
I'll
female?
start. I'll start with our 58 boy from Iran. I think,
Gross. That the boy is bad.
and he's young too, right? He's young, strong,
Bad.
aggressive,
Bad.
calm. Yeah, he's. It's gonna be interesting to see him keep going through the next year into the Olympic Games. I mean, I think they got a hot one. I think they got a live one, and I don't think anybody wants to be in the ring in front of him.
So I heard a story about this kid. He also won the under 21 worlds. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say what. I'm not gonna say who he was gonna fight or what level it was gonna be, but he was sitting, waiting to fight his next match, and he said this in English. He's like, "Man, I thought I was gonna fight you, but I'm gonna go fight this kid over here. I'm gonna go fuck him up." Like, that's crazy. That Iranian boy just said, "Yeah, I'm about to bust this kid up." I'm just like, you're a bad.
But he'd be out there doing exactly that.
Man,
It's
he's
lopsided right now.
He's nasty.
It's lopsided in most situations. I always mess up his name. That's why I'm gonna say your name. His last name is Zandy, right? Zandy.
Yeah.
Zandi. Zandy. I always mess up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go.
He's no deal.
Since we did the males, I'll do one more male. Just get the 2 males out of the way. It's got to be Henrique from Brazil.
Mhm.
I mean, this kid now is like what is he, number 2 in the world? I believe he's
Number 1, I
he's a
think,
one-
unless something
one-
changes
no,
January.
I think you're right. Number 1. Is he 1? Yeah, he's 1.
I'm gonna check.
By a
But
lot.
yeah, I'm listening.
Just, I mean, listen, he won the Pan Ams, he won the World Championships, he won one of the Grand Prix challenges, and the people he's beaten along the way is just unbelievable. He's doing it with sometimes speed, sometimes skill, sometimes brute force. Like his emotions never get higher than. He's just he's a pleasure to watch. I personally know him, so it's a pleasure to watch him train and prepare. But more than that, he was just pretty amazing this year. So I think from an award standpoint, we got to give it to him. I mean, those 2 boys are pretty much the standouts from the World Championships. I can't think of anybody else.
Gotta be right.
Yeah. I'll go to the first woman. I'm gonna go with the Tunisian girl, the lightweight girl. She won Junior World Championships. She won the World Championships, and she won the Under 21 World Championships. And she's like 18 or 19 max. She is sick. She's gonna be a force in the 67. She's like one of those young girls, not yet whoop, but she's already beaten everybody. So I think she's gonna be really, really difficult to handle as we move into this, half quad, this 2 years of the Olympics. So it's pretty good. So I give her one of the females, and drum roll please for the second one. Noah, you know it. What you got?
You got it. It's got to be Maria Clara. It's got to
Gotta
be.
Maria. Come on, man.
I thought it was
She lost
crazy.
one match this whole year. Crazy.
And I think that was a giveaway. I think that was a little bit of a let me go get back out there one more time type situation. I don't think she took the same energy into that competition. I don't think the same focus. I mean, to go that many matches one after another and not drop a match. And she was doing it to a level of like people not scoring any points. People that have got to the finals. Think about getting someone in the finals and shutting them completely out, zeros.
Well, that's what we'll talk about in a second. But like with her, she did that to the Olympic champion.
Olympic champion.
You know, so yeah, I mean, I think those four, you know, you got Enrique, you got Zandy, you got Maria Clara, and you got the Tunisian athlete. You can't go wrong. I mean, those are pick 'em. They're all great. You know, congratulations to them.
This was at a tournament. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to talk about hers. This is at a tournament where everybody's complaining about the chest guards too. I'm saying every time I look online, it's always like, oh, the chest guards don't help the athletes. Chest guards don't do that. This is at a tournament that I think the points were flying across the board at one point. Yeah. And then I know they did that whole something happened and adjusted it and everything. But she did this when it was probably the easiest point to score.
You know, it's a good thing about all those guys. They were all consistent winning, you know, multiple times. And again, when people say, oh, Gen 2 doesn't work, oh, Gen 3 doesn't work, or blah, 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 blah. These people, they had no problem. So they found a way. It was scoring easy. They scored. It wasn't scored. They scored. So hats off to them. They were the most consistent, the most dominant, the most fun to watch. I mean, all of the above, all four of them. So congratulations to them. Which, if there's a great athletes, I think we got to look at maybe the second award is going to be called the Technical Mastermind Award. Technical Mastermind. And this goes to like the outstanding coach because, I mean, obviously the athletes get all the praise, but we all know that, you know, some of these coaches behind the scenes do some great things. And I'll just go ahead and say it. It's Diego from Brazil. I mean, this boy had young. Come on, that was last year.
Not this time.
All right, I'll wait till next year.
Now, Diego was a master this year, man. He had 3 people from his own home gym make it to the finals at the World Championship. I mean, that's crazy. And but more importantly for me, I think more for the technical mastermind is when I looked at Enrique beating like CJ and Korea and shutting them out. Like those two individuals, CJ and the Korean, they just put tons of points up all the time.
They score.
I mean, they point gap people quick, you know, and Enrique shut them out. That's crazy. At the World Championship and the Grand Prix Challenge, shutting these people out. That to me, I got to give Diego credit because, you know, they knew what they wanted to do to both of those athletes and they got it done. So hats off to them for winning that.
That's a lot of action from one gym, you know. That's a lot of action from you can't deny. Like you can call it what you want, but that's amazing. That's amazing.
He's one of my guys. I'm gonna say he's the hottest coach in the world right now. I mean, per capita, and I tell him too. I said, man, you're
think about. I love it because I know we always talk about like just in general. I'm a Pan Am person. If I can't win, I want to see the Pan Am region on top. Like that's just how I've always felt. And I think we've always had like that tough side of the field. You know, we fought and we've had our good points, but it's always like the Pan Am region. And to see a country that's in the Pan Am region be that successful with someone that, you know, I know obviously Coach Moreno, you're a part of everything and kind of building, but it's just to see someone in that get to the point where they're at the World Championship. You got other countries wanting to come and invest their time in being in their room, and Asian countries want to be in their room, and I want to work with them. And these guys, that is crazy. It is crazy. It's entertaining to watch. It's obviously, like you said, I know Diego too personally. I've had an opportunity to be out to his gym and spend some time around him and his guys. And
apparently somebody in the USAT like contacted him to be coaching in the United States. That supposedly somebody had an in with the CEO. And, you know, were interested in bringing him over. He's like, this is impossible. I have work. I have a contract. I have a team. There's no way. But I thought that was pretty funny that all of a sudden USA Taekwondo and
these guys are full of shit. and someone had an end that hit him up like, hey, I'm gonna do this and do that. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what are we talking about?
But congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll give.
Congratulations. I've had the opportunity to be in his gym and like to feel the energy of his team and like be around those guys. And the energy is good. The people are nice, but they all work hard. And I think that's what when I see good coaches and I see successful coaches. I've been in rooms where it felt like that everyone was on the same page and able to build and kind of grow. So congratulations, man.
Yeah, let's get to some fun ones. Let's get to some fun ones, some lighthearted ones.
What are you doing here? What are we doing? What was that?
Let's get into some fun ones.
You got to watch the video to see that.
Which one you want to do first, TJ? You help me out with
I'll
this.
follow you. I'll follow you. I'm trying to open that thing right now.
Let me see. I'll do a first funny one because I know Grandmaster of Disaster loves this one. The Fashion Statement Award.
Oh, like that. Let me guess. Tell me who.
It's got to be my boy CJ. I think he's changed.
Oh, he wins that hands down.
He's changed the game. He does it. He changed the game. Come on.
That boy, I never seen that boy wear a USA warm up in my life. That dude
changed the game.
That dude,
He changed the game.
He got his flannel shirt on. He got his hat on. He ain't got no USA stuff on.
He got to get his own line of clothing. He
better, give him the fashion statement of the.
He better win some medals
because, like I said, he's always doing medals.
He better win some medals, or it ain't gonna matter. So it's one thing to do all that, but I can't find his hip hop name. He's got a hip hop name, and he puts up all. He had a fur coat
it's great.
on.
I think, and I always try to. I know you hate when we try to talk around this subject a little bit. Like
which subject?
Just CJ, and I think he's we all know he's a talented kid. We all know
he's a talented fighter without a doubt.
Absolutely. I like for me, I think he's got. If you said it like a couple podcasts ago, or maybe like one of the second podcasts. Like if anybody should have been on Olympic podium, it should have been him. And I know I'm not putting a knock on nobody, but that's one he needs because he's done a lot of other things. I know we talk about medaling. He's as consistent as you can be and not be on top of the podium. That's what I feel.
Well, let's parse that out for a second. So, and I mean this in the nicest sense of the word, right? We have gone through a lifetime. We've been in the sport a long time, and in going through that sport in a long time, the list is long and laundried in every country, including Korea, of talented athletes who are consistently non-performers at the highest level. To be a high performer at the highest level and win medals consistently, like Juan Moreno did, I did, and you did, and others did, and make the podium, and win gold medals, means that you have cracked the code. Anyone with talent can make marginal medal performances over a period of time. And I'm not going to mention, I have a bunch of people that I could mention, but is a good friend of ours, arguably the best Taekwondo fighter I think that was ever produced by the United States. Bad coaching. He was kind of like Mike Tyson in the sense that when he didn't have any direction. Had he had direction, he would have beat everybody in the world, won a world silver medal. With the right direction, he would have been the first world champion, and he lost and got a silver. And that list is long of way more talented, way more athletic athletes that without the proper coach. So if you want to talk about, I would call the fashion award, I'll call it the wasted opportunity award. This is an individual that with the proper coaching, the right mindset, less fashion and more form, less function and less, style, would be winning hands down because he's athletic and talented. And in this nonsense Taekwondo that's doing, he's perfectly formulated for it, the jumping and the flying and the bullshit kicking. So, there's no doubt of that. But and I'll point to the thing that I showed you guys last time was, what tournament, Coach Moreno or TJ, do you ever remember losing and then going into the basement and sparring with all the other competitors in the world? Name one tournament that we ever did that in.
I don't know. I hate sounding like old school, new school. Like that's a weird one for me. Like I didn't. I don't know.
So
I would have lost
listen,
my. I
wait,
probably
wait,
would've lost
wait,
my
wait,
shit if I
wait,
walked
wait,
down
wait,
there.
wait. Two things. Number one, we're just talking about
Fashion. All right, back to the fashion. All right, he wins the fashion award. Let's move on.
But I just want to say this, just for conversation's sake, guys. People, we're acting like we're sports commentators right now. When Brett Favre, when Aaron Rodgers messes up, they throw him under the bus. When he does good, they talk good about him. So it's not like it's not hating, but I mean, it. We hope that the young man, didn't miss his chance, because everybody knows in 2024 in Paris, he had a great opportunity. People lost, the sea parted, and he had a great chance to make it to the finals and win an Olympic gold medal, and he didn't. And we know life is touchy. We don't know if he'll get back there. So I'm not, everything we were just talking about is not a hating. It's not like he's bad. It's just maybe he missed his opportunity, and we hope he didn't. So let's see.
Let's hope.
Let's see.
Moving on.
Moving on. So that's fashion statement. I want to talk about the We Survived award. I say we, I mean organizations. And I'm going to throw it out there. I think in 2025, the USAT survived because I'm being honest, they're big guns. We just talked about CJ, Christina, Faith. They lost. And those are the big guns. They got salvaged. They got saved by Michael Rodriguez and John Healy. That's it. And you couldn't really expect a medal from either one of those guys. They made the most of it. They got it. Blah, 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 blah. But think about that. If those guys don't save them when their big guys went down, that would have been a disaster. So for me, I think they survived.
I still think it's surviving depending on who's having the conversation. Like we're Taekwondo people when we watch the World Championships. I know we already touched on this, but like it's still a tough position. I think what they finished 20th. We finished 20th at the World Cup. Like, you know what I mean? But like, no, I'm being honest. And that's,
when you have to scroll on your computer, and by the way, I got a large screen. When you got to scroll on my screen to find the U.S. and it's under India.
That's all I know.
I mean, give me a break. I mean, 20th. What are we 20th in anything? I mean, we were never 20th in anything that we ever did.
But have we not been surviving since 2020, 2021?
Yeah.
I mean, we sent
2021. You've been surviving since Lopez left the room. Let's be clear. Lopez was an outlier. He wasn't a product of the system. Come on now.
Anastasio's gold medal in 2020 or 2021, whatever year
which is not expected. That was not expected.
We had world champion representation there.
World championship from Michaela. I mean, she pulls it out. And she's in and out. I mean, she never makes bantamweight again, I don't believe. And then she's out of the sport. It seems like they always pull one thing out, but it's funny because that's why I say it survived, because it masks a lot of the other bad things, the 20th ranked, group. So I think that it's they survived. In my opinion, unless you guys think there's somebody else out there, I think they survived.
No, they're going to win. They win the survival. They win the I'm not paying attention USOC Survive Award. And I can't find Gloria Gaynor's clip. I shall survive, but when I find it, I'll put it up.
They tried to not survive when they let one coach 8 people at the World Championship. They were trying to take. It had to be a take move. You don't do that. You don't do that with anybody. It had to be
Steve must have had a hangover with Jay from drinking with Cho. That's all I could figure out.
That's crazy.
So they weren't in the room.
So they win.
Next category.
Time to make a change award.
Oh.
Time to make a change. Drum roll. And the winner goes to, sorry, not sorry. Oh yeah, Mexico.
Oh, really?
Man, they went for they went to the World Championships and the under 21 and didn't get a medal in any of them. I don't think they got a medal. Did they get a medal in any of the Grand Prix?
I'm not sure. I think not. I don't think so. He got at the challenge. No, not the challenge. The Grand Slam. He got silver at the Grand Slam. Remember the one after the World Championships?
Oh,
he got silver that next 2 days or 3 days later or something like that. He ended up with silver.
Yeah, but that's He's
a special guy in a special situation at a special moment, and they're in trouble. They got to figure it out.
They got to figure it out. I did a podcast with these Mexicans, with Chava and Boris, Carrillo, and we talked specifically. He's an Olympic hopeful. He's a chance to win a medal because he's a kind of unique guy. But other than that, that whole system is just, I don't know if it's the athletes, I don't know if the coaches, I don't know if it's the administration, but going these offers are just, I mean, if the United States is having a bad luck, these guys are just really down.
It got there fast though.
It got there fast.
It got there fast. Yeah, you looked up and it's like bad. And like I said, I follow the Pan Am region a lot. We know, and everyone knows that Mexico's always been a strong competitor. Mexico could always show up and do some stuff. Their energy in their country with the sport of Taekwondo, and it being at one point it was the number 2 sport in the country.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Like, no, I think they're like in the Olympic Committee, like they're number 5 or something behind diving, behind archery, behind flag football. I mean, when they were telling me all these things, I was like, whoa, I had no idea. So
you're talking about Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico, and they're behind flag football.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I found their board of directors. Hold on a second.
Who are you? The Free Amigos! Who are you?
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Which actually leads me to, so they're the Time to Make a Change award, and then the last one for today. I mean, we'll wrap it up with this one. Is I wanted to put this out there because it's a little controversial, but it's because I love athletes, and I always want to see the best for them. And I came up with this one, the Wasted Coaching Talent Award. So I didn't know how to word it, but basically what I was going to say is these athletes that had so much potential that everybody was looking at, and somehow you mentioned something about CJ. At least CJ has done some.
For sure.
But these, I got 3 people, and they're in this region because you talked about it for the Pan Am. Because I don't know enough about the Turkish athlete. I can't say anything about those guys. I don't know, and but. I gotta.
Just the ones you follow closely and are dealing with.
Yeah, I'm gonna name all 3, and I'm just gonna get a quick synopsis on each one, and then just kind of go from there. The first one I'm gonna say is Kafani Harris. This kid was, obviously, CJ
phenomenal,
super talented, phenomenal.
I'm not gonna hold my tongue. Better
taekwondo,
more flexible, more flexible. More everything, and again, I think CJ's a little bit tougher. Not tougher in the sense of go, he'll fight. But Khalfani was different.
Yeah,
for me,
you're right.
What I think.
No, so I just have to ask what happened, and I can't just when coaches want to say they won because of me, then they got to say they lost because of me. What happened? How did that descent just go so far down? So I just think they missed some. Whoever's in charge of him missed the boat. I'm going to go to, this is kind of controversial because I don't know too much about him, but he was like this wonder kid from Mexico, Carlos Cortez. He was doing some good things. He was really scrappy and really, catching people and being in these deep fights with people. And then all of a sudden, just losing in the Pan Ams, under 21, losing at the Worlds, losing at the under. I saw a drop off. So I don't know if people caught up to him, or if, he just doesn't have it, or they underdeveloped. I don't know, but I don't know what you think about him, TJ. I mean, you watch him too. What do you think?
I think he was very, I can't think of his name. He liked to fight. He liked to fight. He liked to kick. He had pressure. He had a gas tank. He gave people a lot of problems. And I think, like anything, a lot of situations, I think when you're in a room with coaches that understand what you have and value what you have, they know how to mold that and change that and push that in a direction that kind of keeps you going. I'm not saying, I know this kid's young and I know it's a tough sport and I know the systems and the referee, all this stuff we can talk about. But the reality is that's where we live, and that kid did come out real hot. He was a big. I feel like that was a big expectation for Mexico, and I think he gets a lot of support from Mexico.
I'll say this about Mexico, and it's a critique. Their coaching staff is young. I mean, I think they're good, but they're young. I think they're leaderless, and I think the athletes feel that. I think the individual coaches are good, but someone's not the leader. Someone's not organizing them and bringing that. And so I think it's going down to the athletes where they're just not having the performances that they should. So Carlos is definitely young, and like you said, he's got a great gas tank, and he's pretty flexible, and he likes to fight if he can get back to it. But this year, I have to say, I thought he was going to pop through. He was my dangerous one. I was like, this kid is something. So that's why I say maybe a little underdeveloped from a coaching standpoint. What else? And my third one, this is one of my favorites because I like. Oh, Miami just scored a touchdown with 18 seconds left. Yes.
What's the score though? What's the score?
It's 30-27. If we kick the extra point, it's 31-27 with 18 seconds left. We going to the championship. And I'm gonna get back to this. It's Faith Dillon, because I close my eyes and think about her. Me too. 3, 4. Even 4 years ago when she was a junior coming into seniors, I'm like, this is a special girl. She was like a Kafani to me. She was strong. She was fast, and she's been consistently kind of up there in the semifinals and stuff. But like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like she's not their priority, and I just feel like they're not giving her enough because she should be up there, man. They held her at 62 for too long before they let her go 57 because they had Anastasia was 57, so they held her at 62 a little too long for me. What I think personally, take it or leave it, I don't care. But like, I think they kept her 62 for too long. They should have had her in 57. I think they should have had Anastasia go up higher, move her up 67. We're at 57. There's a lot of things they could have done. But I like to show. Like, it's so funny. I remember the first time I saw Faith, we were at one of those Grand Slam tournaments or something in Colorado, and she asked some boy to like warm up with her. And the boy looks at her and goes, "Yeah, but like just light, right?" And in my brain, I'm going, "Why is this boy asking this girl like to warm up light? Like, what's she gonna do?" And he agreed, and she put her hands up, and I was like, oh, I got it. He knows something that I didn't know. But she's for me has always been a tremendous talent. I think her mind's the most open. I think she's always willing to learn. I've had some opportunities to kind of, cross paths with her a little bit. She's always been nice to me when it comes to that. But I think that she's good. She's good. She's strong. I think she tries to understand the game. She's there. They got to fix it. They got to put whatever they need to put behind her and get her through, because if it's not her, who is it? Yeah, and same thing. Listen, I talked to her at the last Grand Prix, and just the way she talks about wanting more, I could see that she wants it. I know she has the talent, and I think that they just have to believe in her more and get behind her a little bit more, because, and that's why I say I think it's you don't want to waste a talent like that. They got to give her more. They got to find a way. They got to find a way to make this girl good. Because she's not good, make her good because she's very good, but get her over that threshold. So,
well, I found our director of development, and he has something he'd like to share.
Here we're going to grab the bull by the balls and kick those punks off campus.
What do you intend to do, sir? Delta's already on probation.
They are?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Then, as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
Double secret.
Double secret. All right. Well, we only got halfway through our awards because we got into the unfortunate territory of critiquing who? I won't use his name again. But we can't make boys into men, and even though there's a band named that. But I want to thank you both for your time tonight, and there will be a second part to these awards. My personal favorite. We haven't really attached yet, but look forward to the next one. Gentlemen, it's been real, and this has been a moment from the Sour Bear.
Go 305.
Go Hurricanes. All right.
7 seconds left.
What's the score?
Later. Peace.
All right. We have stopped recording. All right, I'll get this up. I'll talk to you guys in the morning.
Peace.
All right, I'm not leaving because I want to make sure everything uploads.
Yes, it says 1 minute left. Bro, there's...
Hey, my room still says the file. The room still says the file's uploading, Coach. Mine says 1 minute left, but I will leave it
mine
open.
Mine too. I'm not closing. Man, it's 6 seconds left, and they're on like the 40. Oh, there we go.
Did it finish? Recording has stopped. Your files. It says it's uploading. You can leave the chat, just like I would leave the box open. That was okay. I think that one was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
It says still recording though. It still says recording at the top. That's weird.
Oh,
It says record. It's still going, right?
yeah. Text him.
I don't know if it is though, because it says the recording has stopped at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'll send a message. I'm gonna close it.
Okay. See
I'm
you.
gonna close and leave this box open. See you later.
All right, peace.
Peace. It won't even let me leave.